On today's episode, I'm going to do a deep dive on how to create your own website utilizing AI tools like vZero. And we're going to have them hosted at Vercel. At the same time, I'm going to show you how you push the data up from vZero to GitHub. So, the 6 chapters that we're going to cover today is we're going to first create a GitHub environment that we're going to use to store our data in its repository. After that, we're going to prep for the new website. We're going to build the prompts, and we're also going to get our pictures ready and some of our other documentation ready for the new website. And after that, we're going to do a vZero exploration. What we're going to do is we're going to go into vZero, build a website from scratch. We're going to show you how to do a demo website to show you exactly what vZero can do, right? And then, of course, you need to host it somewhere. So where are we going to host it? But Vercel. Vercel owns vZero. So they work perfectly together. You use GitHub as the main repository to store your data. And then after that, what we're going to do on the final chapter, chapter 6, we're going to push all that information out to the internet so that when you type in your domain name, that it will come up and it will also show the SSL certificate so that all that's done on the back end, all using AI, and you don't have to touch any of it. It's fantastic. So let's get started. Chapter 1. We're going to get started by showing you how to create your very own GitHub account. So what you'll do first is you'll go to github.com, which is github.com. From there, you'll do create account. And as you can see, I've already gotten everything prepared to sign up. You're going to put in your email address, your password, and choose a username and your location. I'm going to choose create the account. And it's going to verify. I'm going to say never to that. It's going to send me an email with a confirmation code. Voila. There's my confirmation code. I'm just going to copy that over. Okay. Paste that in. Continue. It's going to ask me now to log in with everything I just set up. So let's test it to make sure that it works. Okay. There we are. Let's make sure that this works. And voila. So we are ready to create our first repository. Now let me explain a little bit about GitHub and what it does and how it relates to building our website and hosting our website. What GitHub is it's a directory that is out in the cloud. So currently you'll save files to your local C drive. Think of this as a C drive just out in the cloud that you can do special things with, such as backup, restore, you can do versioning controls. This is some of the more advanced features of GitHub. How we're going to use it is we're going to design our website with vZero utilizing AI, and then we're going to create a repository the first time that we do this, which is nothing more than a folder for our information. And then at the very end, we're going to create a server to host our new website. That server will then pull from GitHub, and that's where it will get its data to build our website and host it out so that when you type in www.jesdigital.com, that a nice corporate website pulls up. In chapter 2, we're going to prep for the new website. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a folder for our redesign. And what I'm going to put in that folder is pictures of my building, my logo, my selfie, and then I'm also going to add some website links. And those website links are going to include some of my YouTube videos that I've created, some of my social media accounts, like my LinkedIn account, my link to my YouTube channel. The other thing that we're going to do is do our prompt creation. Now, I'm going to create 2 prompts for this exercise. The first prompt I'm going to do is create a prompt that essentially shows you everything that vZero can do, right? So I'm going to say, go ahead and create something that is just a demo that I want to see a lot of examples of, right? The second prompt that I'm going to create is exactly how to build the website. So this is the most critical prompt, right? So in the next chapter, we're going to go over in detail what goes into that prompt and how to use vZero to build our first website. Okay, in chapter 3, we're going to start building our vZero website. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into vZero, create your hobby account in there, and I've already done that. I have a business account here. So what we're going to do once we've created the account, we're going to go into new project. Okay, let's name it test website, right? And let's build this. Okay, it's going to build it. And voila, there we go. And now remember those prompts that I spoke about? Let's go grab the first prompt, okay? We are gonna bring it in here, copy that. Let's go over the prompt that we're gonna tell it what to do here. We're gonna say, create a modern, responsive landing page for an AI consulting, AI training, and automation company named Jez Digital. This is just a test page so that I can see your different capabilities, create different sections and samples of your work. From this, I'm going to build a website with the parts that you show me that I like, okay? So I've got a lot of misspelling, but fortunately AI is smart enough to go through that and figure it out. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Let's copy our first prompt in, okay? And let's go ahead and hit run, and let's see what this thing can do. So it's thinking, it's going through it, it's building it. The user wants me to create. It's looking at it. I will create a landing page for Just Digital that showcases various design aspects. And look at that. There we go. It's starting to build your first website as we speak. So this is pretty cool. So what it's doing now, it's thinking. It's not going to come back and ask me any questions. It already knows what to do. And this will be a first for me. I have no clue what it's going to build. I have a general idea because I've used this so many times on some of the subsections on what we'll see. But now let's go over the next prompt that we're going to copy. Okay, so after we see this one, it's time to put in the prompt that we actually want it to build the website with. And let's go over with that. What we're going to do is give it vZero instructions again, right? And for this one, I'm telling it what color blue, what color orange to use. That's from my logo. I'm going to upload those files that we previously spoke about, my logo, my selfie, picture of the building, my links, and then down here in the body, I'm going to show it everything that I have to do, right? Create a header, create a modernistic design, do a little hero section with a catchy headline, a brief description, call to action, right? We want a YouTube section showing off some of our work. We want testimonial section with 3 satisfied customers. We want a footer that's going to include some of the links to our social media. We're going to want also our picture of our building in there and a final call to action to sign up for AI demos. And somewhere in this, I tell it to add this little description about a little blog about me, right? A little Stan Jesnowski brings nearly 30 years of experience in management across various sectors, right? On weekends, you can find Stan either fishing or cheering for the Jaguars from section 122. That's right, I'm a Jaguars fan. Sorry to admit it, but somebody had to do it, right? And at the very end, we add here the building address, right, of my office location. So let's go back and take a look at this. Look, we got our first sample here. Look at this, beautiful, showing you what it can do, right? Look how good that is, right? So you got the different things that we can look at, all these different examples. Okay, so that's pretty good. But now let's put in our other prompt, right? So let's copy that out, right? Our prompt and say, okay, let's change this. All right, now we go down to the chat window and we say, okay, let's change this up. I want to replace everything with this prompt. Okay. And let's see how we do. I'm going to paste that prompt in, the long prompt, and let's see how we do. Okay. It's going to paste the text. It's thinking this could take a little bit of time. Oh, I forgot some of my documents, forgot my JPEGs and my other files. So let's stop this real quick. Let's go through and upload from my computer. Okay. Let's go to my documents, down to my websites. Okay. Website redesign. And let's go ahead, add these three. Okay. And now here's the prompt. Let's go back and copy that prompt again. Okay. So there we are. Okay. And we'll tell it, let's change that, the whole website, to the following prompt. And I included some files for you. All right. And let's paste that prompt in. Great. So let's get that done. Okay, so we're going to redo this first demo site that we saw, and let's see how we do. We gave it our colors, so it should utilize my orange and my blue. Hopefully it gets my right logo. I've got some pictures of myself in an office setting. I've got a picture of my building. I've got my YouTube links on here. So pretty excited to see how it does. It's reading the text attachment here, scanning the files, right? Reading the files. Perfect. Says, now I have an idea of what you want. It's going through. Hasn't started building the website quite yet. So it's still going through the prompt. So there we go. So now it's finished the prompt and now it's building. So it's taken everything that we put in, it's digested it, and now it's going to turn everything that we said in that prompt into a professional website. Okay. Why we're doing this, let me show you what my old website looked like so that you can see how terrible my artistic skills are, right? So I'm not an artist. I'm not a graphic designer. I did this in WordPress, right? And here we go. This is basically it, but I really want to focus more on the AI aspect of the website design. Okay. And that's it. It's not horrible. It just doesn't look like a professional website. And everything I've seen from vZero is just nothing short of spectacular, right? And I don't think it'll fall short here either. I think it'll be better on its first iteration than my existing website. So here we go, right? So there we go. It put some of the stuff in the wrong place, I think, already. But as you can see right here, logo, right? Put it in there. We've got the different parts of the page. And let's look it through. Oh, there we go. We've got some AI consulting, AI trading, automation. And then they've got a meet me, right? Connect with Stan. We've got a section down here, what clients are saying, a testimonial. And I wrote all of this in the prompt. And now it linked, as you can see right down here, to my YouTube channel. Picked up 3 of the videos that I've told it. And here it's done a nice blend, right? Are you ready to connect? Ready to take the next step, right? And then we've got the footer, okay? So we got some changes to do, right? So let's start by going through this. And now all the changes are just prompts, right? And so let's say, put the building PNG file, building.png file in the footer. Okay. Put the selfie first at the top, right? Okay. Let's see, we will do, let's see, on those cards, let's have them flip. So this will be pretty cool, I think. So let's have a how section on the back of those cards. Okay, on the 4 cards, right? Flip them over to show a how section and give examples of how we do each of them. Okay. All right. So these are our first changes that we want to do. Boom. Voila. Okay. It's reading the prompt. It's looking it through, and it's going to start writing my code as we speak. Okay. Here we go. And then as you can see here, we're on our 3rd iteration. So it says V3, right? So what you can do with that is, let's say we don't like something or we want to check back to an iteration that we previously did, or a version V2, for example. Let's say V3 comes back, it looks horrible, and we're like, I don't like that change. Let's revert back to V2. And the first thing it's going to do for us is revert right back to V2, and then we're going to be all set. Okay. So it's building that, it's almost complete. What it's building and what I want done is I'm going to make sure it builds it in JavaScript and utilizing that. So I'm going to host it then at the very end in another product called Vercel. So Vercel owns vZero, and there you got my picture up here, right? Schedule a demo, transform your business with AI innovation, right? We've got the colors. And now let's see, oh, it didn't do our flip on the cards, right? Let's see. So let's see if it did put the building down here. Okay. And I think we're a little bit too much blue and orange, so I would change that personally. Let's see. Let's see how to do. It says over here, perfect. I made all your requested changes. Let's see what it says about flipping the cards. Let's see, the building image has been moved. Okay, great. How we transform your business cards with specific examples. The layout now flows better. I don't see the cards flip. Okay, say I want the 4 cards to flip over, and have a house section written on them. Okay. Let's see if I can do it this time. That section should be titled how we or not how we AI, but let's say what we do and how we do it. Okay. What we do and how we do it. Okay. So now let's try it again. And let's see this time if it'll come back and flip the cards over. Okay, so it's looking. Okay, this is our V3, our version 3. Okay, there it goes. It read our instructions. Okay. Now you can also ask it and converse back and forth with it about what are you writing it in, right? Because some people want to write in Python, other people want to write in Java script. So let's take a look at what it does this time and see if it can flip the cards. Okay. And I've already gone through and redone my entire website with this, and I'm just getting ready to push it out to production. So here we go. It's almost complete. Down, I can see it's working on the footer. I saw the address information there. Okay, there we go. And look at all these lines of code that it's doing. I mean, there's no way a human could write, do a website near this fast. When I did my last production website on vZero, I did everything in just about an hour and a half, and it was an amazing site. I mean, for what I could do, right? It was so good. It, you would normally pay, I think, around $4,000 for the quality of work that this website builder did. Okay, so let's see if it was able to flip the cards. And there we go. There we have it. We gave it a little bit better instructions. And there we go. As we go through, we flip the cards, right? Pretty cool. Okay, we can change those icons. We can say, hey, give me an example. Now, one thing that I would say is, hey, uh, create, okay, 12 more cards. Okay, 12 more cards so that I can see examples of the icons that you have to offer, right? That you, okay, there we go. Okay, so this is going to be the last thing, and I'm going to show you the production, what I've done on production. Okay, so what I asked it to do here, and this is what I do a lot of times, if I want to see something else that it can do, I will go in there and say, go ahead and show me 12 cards, show me, knowing that I'm going to cut it back to 4 cards, right? Or 8 cards or whatever. I just want to see the other icons, right? I'm sure there's even a better way to do this. Like I could just create one section, say just dump all those icons on this one section so that I can see it. Give me 20 examples, right? Okay. So here we go. And it should be just about finishing up here, or I guess we're still in the middle. There it is. It's building the cards now. I can see that. Okay. It's going through. Okay. So what we're going to go over next in chapter 4 a little bit is basically we're going to show you how to connect this website back to your GitHub. So what you do, up here we go. We're going to connect this and save this up to GitHub because currently this is just being saved at vZero. Okay, so let's go down here and take a look. Here we go. Here's some of the different icons. Like we got the cloud, we got a shield here for like a cybersecurity. We got iPhone there. We got a speedometer, a rocket. Looks like a graph, a light bulb. So there you go. You just see some different examples there. So let's say we want to change that bottom, by the way, to white. So all you got to do is prompt in over here, change the bottom to white, and you shouldn't have any problems at all. Or you could go back through this and say, I want more of a dark mode website. These are just a few examples of what you can do, right? So let's take a look at my other website that I've done here. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at one of my websites that I've created. It's not that one. Okay, let's go back here. Let's look at all my projects. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, let me show you what I've done here. And here we go. So the final product, once you go through all your iterations, take a look at this. I did 66 iterations on this last one, right? And this is my new website for my business. Right here, we've got my logo. It's a little bit bigger, by the way. I asked it to make it bigger. We've got our different sections, services, testimonials, YouTube. I've got my picture of myself here in my office. Streamline your business with Jez Digital and AI. What we do and how we do it. You'll notice the orange color there versus and the blues. And now we go through. I have it build these 8 cards that I utilized. And I basically do what we do and how we do it, where we have the cards flip over. Okay. Oh, I got to edit that. I can see that went over, right? That one went over, right? So I still have a little bit of editing to do here. All right, and I've got my testimonial sections, right? Right there. And then I've got learn from my YouTube channel that this will actually open up and show you examples of the work I've done in YouTube. You can visit my YouTube channel here. We've got a nice picture here, ready to streamline your business, a little call to action, enter your email to get started. And then here at the bottom, we have a footer. It's just done in white. Picture of my building with the contact information on how to get a hold of me. And then we've got social media links down here, right? So to me, I couldn't be happier with it, right? It's just puts all this capability of basically work that 5 years ago only a graphic artist could do, right? I couldn't do anything like this, but now you can with vZero. So in chapter 4, we're going to cover the following. We're going to connect your new website back to GitHub. We're going to create a repository, which again, remember, that's your directory. We're going to upload your data, all your files from your website in vZero up to the new repository. So what you'll do is we'll go back to the website that we created in vZero, and we'll go back to our chat session. And in the upper right corner, right now it's spinning, but there will be a GitHub icon for you there. So you'll click on the GitHub icon. So the first time you're going to do this, you're going to actually connect to your GitHub. I've already connected to my GitHub before. So what we're going to do in this case is I'm going to create a new repository to show you how you do this. And right there, voila. I'm going to create a new repository called test website 5. And what that'll do is on the back end, it'll connect to the branch, which is the GitHub. And there you go. And you can view it. And right there you have it. It's created the repository. So it's already uploaded all those files that we're working on, right? So now let's go back here. Now let's make a change, right? Remember we added all those cards. Let's take the cards. Let's take 4 of the cards out, or let's take just 12 of the cards out. Let's just have 4 cards. Okay. Let's tell it only keep the first 4 cards. Okay. There you go. And let's see what else. Let's change the bottom to like a white color for the footer. Change the footer to a white background. All right, there you go. Let's go ahead and click submit. Okay, and what it's going to do is it's going to go through there. It's going to go through our prompt and say, yep, let's take out the 12 different cards and let's scroll to the bottom and change this to white. Okay, so right now it's reading the prompt. It's going through. It's looking for the code. It's found some of the code. Look at that. reading thousands of lines of code just instantaneously. Okay, so it's taken the prompt, it's figured out what to do. Right now, it's making all those changes for us. And while we wait, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to connect again to the branch, right? The GitHub, and then we're going to do a commit. So once again, a repository is a directory on GitHub. Some people call it a repo, right? A commit is writing back to that repository, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to push some changes here once we're done with this, back up to the repository that we built, okay? You'll see this. Here we go. Right there, you've got, it kind of tells you what it's written in, right? Mostly TypeScript, a little bit of JavaScript, CSS, right? Shows where it's deployed at. We're only at one branch, which is the main branch. Okay, so this should almost be done. Should be ready here pretty soon, shortly. And there we go. Okay, now let's take a look. Shows that it's done. Scroll all the way down, and there you have it. It's add this to white, right? Made that change. We've added the 4 cards that we have here, okay? Now, this change that we just made has not been pushed yet. So once again, you got the GitHub icon up here, but also you got the V7. So right here, if we want, we can go take a look at V6, right? And it's got the 16 cards. It's got the black footer. And we could go over here if we wanted to and say, revert back to V6. But what we're going to do is we're going to commit our changes for V7. Okay, there's our changes again. Let's go back to the GitHub. Okay, we're going to first set our active branch, which we only have one branch for this, which is the main. And right here, you've got push changes. So all this is going to do is click on push changes. And just like that, it's going to sync those changes that we just made back up to our GitHub and update our repository. Right there you go. There you have it. See the changes 4 minutes ago. It's going to push all these changes just now connected. Okay, let's look at this. Still says 4 minutes ago. Let's do a refresh on this, see if we can get any changes there. Okay, so it's actively pushing all those changes out for us, out to the repository. Okay, if you wanted to pull down your changes, this would be highlighted. We don't currently have the capability of pulling down the changes. Oh, one more thing about your GitHub. What you want to do on your repositories is what I do is make mine private. Now, if some of these I wanted to share with a group, like if it's open source, or if I wanted to do an education and I wanted to send people someplace that they could access my repositories, I would make those public, right? But for my stuff, my website, all that stuff, I make private. So make sure you set yours to private. And let's go ahead and take a look at this. So inside these folders, it's making the changes. And there you go. It's committed 1 minute ago. It had 2 commits. You can see it right here. Okay, right there you go. You get to see both commits that it changed. It changed basically the cards, right? That was the first commit. And the second commit was the footer. All right, so pretty straightforward on connecting to GitHub and uploading your changes there. Okay, so now it's time for chapter 5. In chapter 5, we're going to go to Vercel, which is Vercel, and we are going to set up Vercel. Vercel comes in 2 editions that we're primarily concerned with. The first is Hobby Edition. That's free. That's where you can kind of tinker with it. You can build a website out there. And then the second is Pro Edition. That comes with a 14-day free trial. I'm currently using the Pro Edition. So what you'll do is you'll set up your base Vercel. You'll tie back to your GitHub and your authentication. And then we go into the project sections and we're going to choose new because we want to bring over our project that we built in vZero that we pushed up to GitHub. Okay, so let's go to new project. And for speed, I've already built one of these. So you'll choose your repository. In this case, we're going to bring over the test website 5, right? And let's go ahead and choose the defaults here. I'm going to call this V version 2 because I've already built one of these. Okay, where we're putting it is in my Pro Edition. Let's go ahead and choose deploy. Now what this is going to do is this is going to automatically connect to my GitHub repository and copy it down and build a hosting server for me, right? So it'll give me a domain name, and let's take a look at some of these others that has already been completed. And let's go back and look at the projects here. And you'll notice here's my final production one, right? And let's take a visit to that. This is my final product. The next step on this one is we'll push it up to jazzdigital.com domain. So currently it's just on the vercel.app domain, which is theirs, right? So I can take a look at what it's going to look like on the web, right? So pretty impressive for the amount of money that you have to spend on vZero and Vercel. So speaking about money, let's go over the different cost structures and the pricing for both of these two products. First, you've got vZero. With vZero, that's a flat fee of $20 a month, but it takes tokens. For instance, my website that I built yesterday took about $6 in tokens of the $20, right? So I've got about $14 left to keep making changes to my existing website, or to do probably about 2 more websites if I wanted to do that. So that's a month by month occurrence. So GitHub is free on the plan I'm using. And then Vercel, that's where you're going to host your website. Now with Vercel, you have the free plan, which is called the hobby plan. With that one, you can just, if it's a personal site, you can just push that out there. But if it's a business site, they push you towards the Pro Edition, and that's $20 a month. Now, the nice part about the Pro Edition is you can host multiple websites. So a substantial amount of websites. So we're talking, I've read up to over 100 websites that you can host. So if you're one of the agencies that provides a service for your customers, this might be for you. Let's go back and take a look again at that Vercel and see if it's ready. So back here, we go to the projects, and you'll notice this is the test website that I just built, right? So let's click on that, and there you go. Let's see, and voila, we got our final product here. And look at that. This is the old one where we had all the cards with all the different icons on it. And you'll notice the footer will still be black, right? So we got a little bit of work to do on this before it's to our standards. But as you can see, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So it's, it's just right there. But I think if you take a look at mine, this is light years better than where I came from. So here, let me show you again. This is what I started with, right? This is where I have it in WordPress. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination a graphic artist, but let's take a look at what they did. So, when I price out some of these websites for a nice website, you're talking $4,000 or $5,000 nowadays. And, for $40 or whatever I spent today, this is a great website. It's just amazing to me what you can do nowadays with AI. So, but the next piece of the puzzle that we have to look at, though, is connecting the domain. So my domain is out here at Squarespace. So that's going to be the last chapter, hopefully. So let's take a look here where we came from. So here's the vZero, right? We've got it all. We push it up to GitHub, right? And then from there, we connect Vercel, right? Which that's building the server up for us, spinning up the virtual server where we're going to host it, right? And the last phase of all this puzzle is going to be hosting it on our own domain name, which will be, for me, www.jestdigital. Okay, last but not least, chapter 6, pushing everything to production. So we've already moved everything to the server, but now we have to go out to our domains and say, where should you point to the server at? So that's called DNS. So what you do is you go back into your project. Let's go back to team settings here. Let's go back to the overview. Here's the new site that we've done. Okay, let's visit it. Right there, that's the site. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually connect it to a domain. So what you do is in the project up here at the top, you have domains. Okay. And we're going to add a domain. You can buy your domain right from Vercel, but I've already got one. So what we're going to do here is I've got a domain that I don't use for a book that I wrote. islandoffocus.com. It's going to redirect me right there. And it says invalid configuration, which is fine. So what you'll do is you'll go in here and you'll copy this stuff right here, both of these. So here's the A record and here's the C name record, right? So this is telling us the IP address that Vercel's assigning it, right? And then this is telling us the C name record, which is like the www, right? So let's go ahead and copy that first, right? And then you go into your domain hosting company. Mine is Squarespace. So I go into custom records. And if you're making changes, make sure you back this up. That should be the first thing that you do. So you want to back this up just in case you have any problems, right? So that you can restore it. All right. So once again, this is a www, a C name. Okay. So you'll put that host right in there. And here we'll copy that over. Let's save it. Okay. And then the next thing that we're going to do is copy that IP address over. Right. So that was up here. That was an A record. Okay. So let's go back here. Didn't like that for some reason. Okay. Let's try, maybe it didn't like the order I was in. There it goes. Okay. So, okay. It liked it the second time. All right. Let's go. This time it's an A record. Right. And so once again, that was the @ symbol. Okay, and then the IP address is going to go in here. Let's paste that over. Let's choose save. Okay, we might get the same kind of error. Nope, it took it that time. Okay, and then the next thing that you're going to do is over here. You're going to go look down. That looks pretty good. Okay. So let's see if that gets configured there. Let's look at, let's go and look at that one more time. There it goes. Valid configuration. See that, how that's changed. And voila, there's your island of focus. Now, what's really cool about this is you also can put the name servers in there, by the way. What's really cool about this is it automatically does the certificate for you. So in the past, you used to have to buy a certificate, and it was like $100 a year from Vercel just to get the HTTPS. But now this is automatically built in. You'll see right here, HTTPS :// island of focus. And here's our new website I came across, right? So pretty cool little demo there. Let's go take a look at that name server quick, see if we can find that. Okay. Connect to environment, Great, so that all looks good. Let's push to production. Okay, let's look at that. Oh, there we go. Let's edit that. Yeah, looks good. Looks like we don't even have to do the name server on this one. We did the custom configuration. So anyhow, if you get a chance and it comes back and it says the name server, go ahead and just copy that over as well if you'd like. So that should be it. Let's go back and look this over. Let's go to the overview. There we go. We got rollback feature. We got right there with the repository. Okay, now when we visit the website, should take us out to islandoffocus.com. Okay. There it is. And it's all valid configurations. You'd see if we still wanted to use the vercel.app address. Looks good. Everything looks great. Well, you've gone from A to Z on completing your first website with vZero and pushing it all the way to production, updating the DNS server, upgrading your certificates automatically. That's one of the best parts of Vercel. So what's really cool about this is if you're an agency, you could host 100 sites on this. It just doesn't matter. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed all this content. Like and subscribe below so that we keep making more and more content for you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.